Introduction. Ndindi Nyoro is a Kenyan politician, public finance expert, and reform-oriented leader best known for his transformative tenure as a member of parliament for Kiharu Constituency in Murang'a County. By January 2026, Nyoro had emerged as one of Kenya's most respected young legislators, widely admired for his discipline, integrity, analytical leadership style, and unwavering focus on education as a tool for social transformation. In a political environment often dominated by grandstanding and populist rhetoric, Nyoro has distinguished himself through a calm, methodical, and results-driven approach to leadership. His influence extends beyond his constituency, particularly through his role as chairperson of the National Assembly Budget and Appropriations Committee, where he plays a pivotal role in shaping Kenya's national fiscal priorities. At the grassroots level, his flagship Masomo Bora Programme has gained national recognition for easing the financial burden on parents, while significantly improving learning outcomes in public day secondary schools. Nyoro's leadership philosophy is grounded in the belief that public office is a responsibility entrusted to serve citizens, not a platform for personal enrichment or political showmanship. This conviction has shaped his career and defined his growing legacy. Early life and background. Ndindi Nyoro was born and raised in Murang'a County, a region known for agriculture, strong community bonds, and a deep-rooted belief in education as a pathway to opportunity and social mobility. Growing up in a modest environment, Nyoro was exposed early to the everyday realities faced by ordinary Kenyan families. He witnessed parents working tirelessly to provide for their households, while struggling to meet school-related expenses for their children. These experiences left a lasting impression on him, shaping his understanding of poverty, opportunity, and inequality. From a young age, Nyoro learned the value of discipline, responsibility, and perseverance, lessons reinforced by the sacrifices he saw within his community. His upbringing instilled in him a strong sense of empathy and a belief that leadership should exist to serve the most vulnerable members of society, not to accumulate power or prestige. This worldview would later become central to his political mission, particularly his commitment to reducing education-related financial barriers. Education background. Ndindi Nyoro completed his primary and secondary education in Kenya, where he consistently demonstrated strong academic performance, especially in analytical and quantitative subjects. His aptitude for numbers and structured thinking set him apart early on, pointing him toward a future in economics and public policy. He later enrolled at the University of Nairobi, where he pursued a bachelor's degree in economics. During his university years, Nyoro developed a deep and practical understanding of public finance, budgeting, economic policy, and governance systems. His academic training sharpened his ability to interpret data, assess policy outcomes, and question inefficiencies in public administration. Beyond the classroom, his exposure to economic theory and real-world policy debates strengthened his conviction that good governance must be grounded in evidence, accountability, and long-term planning. These skills and values would later become defining features of his parliamentary career. Early career and professional life. Before venturing into elected politics, Ndindi Nyoro worked in the economic and public finance sector, where he gained hands-on experience in financial analysis, fiscal planning, and policy evaluation. This professional background distinguished him from many of his peers in politics, positioning him as a technocrat rather than a populist. His early career reinforced his belief that leadership should focus on practical solutions and measurable outcomes. He developed a strong appreciation for data-driven decision-making and institutional efficiency, principles that would later guide his approach to public service. Nyoro entered politics not as a career politician, but as a professional seeking to apply economic knowledge to improve governance and service delivery. Entry into politics. Nyoro entered elected politics with a clear mission to translate economic knowledge into real, measurable improvements in people's lives. He contested the Kiharu parliamentary seat in the 2017 general election and emerged victorious, marking the beginning of a leadership era defined by reform, efficiency, and accountability. His election signaled a generational shift toward youthful, technocratic leadership focused on systems rather than slogans. His re-election in 2022 further affirmed public confidence in his performance, reflecting strong approval of his development-focused agenda and leadership style. Parliamentary career and national influence. In Parliament, Ndindi Nyoro quickly gained recognition for his mastery of fiscal matters and his ability to articulate complex economic issues with clarity. He was appointed chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, one of the most influential committees in the National Assembly. In this role, Nyoro has overseen national budget allocations, advocated for fiscal discipline and responsible borrowing, questioned wasteful public expenditure, promoted transparency and accountability in government spending. His calm, analytical approach has earned him respect across political divides, positioning him as a trusted and credible voice in Kenya's economic governance. He is widely regarded as a leader who prioritizes substance over spectacle, focusing on sustainability rather than short-term political gains. The Masomo Bora Programme. At the constituency level, Nyoro's leadership is most visible through Kiharu Masomo Bora Programme, a comprehensive education initiative targeting public day secondary schools. Designed to address both access and quality, the program has become a cornerstone of his development agenda. In January 2026, Nyoro announced a landmark reduction in school fees from 1,000 shillings to 500 shillings per term, benefiting over 12,000 learners across 65 public day secondary schools. Funded through the National Government Constituencies Development Fund, NGDF, in partnership with other stakeholders, the initiative was aimed at easing the financial burden on parents while keeping students in school. This program is about giving every child a fair chance to learn, regardless of their family background. Nyoro stated during the launch at Murang'a Primary School, student welfare and school feeding. Recognizing that hunger is a major barrier to learning, Nyoro integrated a robust school feeding program into Masomo Bora. Learners receive free lunches from Monday to Saturday, with chapati served every last Friday of the month. The feeding program has significantly improved school attendance, learner concentration, academic performance. Nyoro has repeatedly emphasized that education must address both academic and welfare needs, arguing that a hungry child cannot concentrate or perform effectively in class. Infrastructure and learning resources. To enhance learning environments, Nyoro directed substantial investment towards school infrastructure. Through NGCDF, his office allocated 50 million shillings for classrooms, laboratories, and libraries, an additional 50 million shillings specifically for science laboratories, and libraries SH 10 million for revision books. These investments have strengthened day secondary schools and aligned them with the demands of the competency-based education (CBE) system, narrowing the gap between day and boarding institutions. Governance, transparency, and accountability. A defining feature in Nyoro's leadership is his insistence on transparency and fairness. He has warned school administrators against imposing hidden charges on parents and capped remedial lesson fees at 1,000 shillings. Education should not become a hidden cost, he has stated, reinforcing his commitment to ethical governance and responsible use of public resources. Personal life and values. Despite his national prominence, Ndindi Nyoro maintains a private personal life, rarely discussing family matters publicly. This deliberate choice reflects his belief that leadership should focus on service rather than personal publicity. He is widely regarded as disciplined, reserved, and principled. His values are strongly influenced by Christian ethics, particularly stewardship, integrity, and accountability. Known for a modest lifestyle, Nyoro's personal conduct aligns closely with his advocacy for fiscal discipline and ethical leadership. National vision on education. Beyond Kiharu, Nyoro has argued that Kenya can afford free basic education from primary to senior school if resources are properly coordinated. He estimates that 30 billion shillings annually, shared between the national government, county governments, and NGCDF, would be sufficient. His position reflects a long-term vision centered on human capital development, productivity, and national competitiveness. Legacy and outlook. As of January 2026, Ndindi Nyoro's biography is that a quiet reformer whose impact is measured in results rather than rhetoric. Through disciplined leadership, strategic investment in education, and a firm commitment to transparency, he has transformed Kiharu into a model constituency. To many Kenyans, Ndindi Nyoro represents a new standard of leadership, competent, ethical, and future-focused, with a legacy rooted in opportunity, dignity, and hope for the next generation.